Well, we are watching for possible news today about changes in President Obama's cabinet. The Washington Post reporting that Senator John Kerry is being considered for the Secretary of Defense. Senator Kerry, a Navy veteran, was very involved in the president's reelection efforts, but he also was at the center of a controversy during his own 2004 presidential run. That's when the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth group challenged Senator Kerry's record as a war hero and slammed his testimony before a congressional committee back in 1971, claiming it was false, misleading, and impugned their reputations. But the controversy over John Kerry goes back even further than that. Trace Gallagher's here with more. Trace?
And Megan, John Kerry came home from Vietnam in 1969 as a decorated war hero. He became an anti-war activist, and he led a group called Veterans Against the Vietnam War. With that group, he wrote a book called The New Soldier, which documented the anti-war movement, including veterans giving their medals back to the government, tossing them on the steps of Congress. John Kerry was among them. The book cover was also controversial because it showed veterans lifting a flag upside down in what many believed was mocking the Marines who raised the flag at Iwo Jima. In 1971, you see there John Kerry testified before Congress, detailing war crimes committed by veterans, indicating those crimes were well known by all levels of command. Listen.
They told the stories of times that they had personally raped, cut off ears, cut off heads, taped wires from portable telephones to human genitals and turned up the power, cut off limbs, blown up bodies, randomly shot at civilians, razed villages in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan.
The testimony caused an outcry by soldiers who said the allegations were false. Kerry said many of those statements were taken out of context, but in later years also stood by many of them, but acknowledged the language was a little, quote, hot here and there. Kerry also came under fire for comments he made to a Massachusetts peace group in the 1970s, criticizing an all-volunteer military, saying, quote, I am convinced a volunteer army would be an army of the poor and the black and the brown. We must not repeal the travesty of the inequities present during Vietnam. I also fear having a professional army that views the perpetuation of war crimes as simply doing its job. During the presidential campaign, the incident for which Kerry was awarded the Silver Star in 1969 came into question. Kerry was given the star because during an all-out firefight, Kerry shot an enemy fighter who was armed with a rocket launcher. But a group called Swift Boat Vets for Truth claimed that Kerry shot a Viet Cong teenager who was not part of a superior fighting force, though many other members of the military supported John Kerry during that. In 2006, campaigning for the Senate, Kerry made this statement to a group of college students in Southern California. Listen.
We're here to talk about education, but I want to say something before that. You know, education, if you make the most of it, and you study hard, and you do your homework, and you make an effort to be smart, you can do well. If you don't, you get stuck in Iraq.
Yeah. The criticism to that was loud, and it was often. John Kerry said that he botched that joke, that he did not mean to be critical of the soldiers serving in Iraq, Megan. He meant that to be aimed at President Bush. Megan.
All right, Trey.